Okay, hi everybody, I'm back. It's been a while. I mean, my child turned 2 and things kind of just changed a lot. I mean, like, I've heard so many parents say that kids change a lot in general when they're young, but right around 22 months to 24 months, things just went, like, every day was pretty much unpredictable. Anyways, we're all alive. Everybody's healthy. And I'm finally back and trying to get back into the hang of this after the baby sleeps. So I'm excited to share with you guys this video that I've been thinking about for a while now. Now that I'm at 2 years of being a mom, I've reflected a lot on just what my motherhood journey has been like and what I wish I could or would or should have heard from other moms. And these are just my opinions. I'm not saying that this is like fact or anything like that. This is just what I've thought through in my experience that I feel like would have been super helpful. But welcome to my channel. This is After the Baby Sleeps. My name is Pang. I'm a full-time mom and a part-time video editor. I normally work when my child goes to sleep, hence the title. For this video, I want to talk about 9 things I wished I would have known about that I feel like would have been super helpful before I became a mom. So let's jump into it. One of the first things that took me a while to realize, for me personally, it took me about 2 years to feel like myself again, and that's mentally and physically. After the 6-week checkup, my doctors told me that I could exercise and do all those things again, but my body really just did not cooperate like what I shared in my other videos. But I would say that didn't mean that I didn't continue to work out or anything like that. It just took my body a while to recover from carrying a child to delivering a child and healing internally. I don't think we'll ever be our original self ever again, but I think this is the closest I've felt to feeling balanced. And 2 years for me was right around the mark. But I want to know what it was like for everybody else, because I know the journey is so different for everybody. The second thing that I learned the hard way was the US just doesn't support moms like other countries do. So other than getting my checkup at 6 weeks to make sure everything was healing properly down there, and I think when they do check, I'm not sure, maybe it's just my OB, it was just, I believe, an external check and a quick internal and like some stomach, like they felt my tummy to make sure things were together. Other than that, I was pretty much on my own after my baby was born. My baby had a lot of checkups, right? So making sure that they were developing okay, eating enough, sleeping okay, pooping enough, all of those things, that was like frequent, especially when they're young. But for moms, other than that 6-week appointment, there's nothing else. The other thing about this country not supporting moms is you're pretty much on your own in terms of your own health, in terms of maternity leave, in terms of financially. It's just all up to you. I know in my gut that if I would have lived in a different country that supported parents, especially mothers, my motherhood journey would have been so different. And I really truly believe that I would have been in such a better mental space, and I would not have struggled so much financially or with childcare or with my own health. Like, that's the part that's so confusing to me, is that here in the US, if I am having issues with my body or anything like that postpartum, I have to pay. that comes out of my wallet. That's not even covered under my insurance. But in some other countries where motherhood and pregnancy and starting a family is supported, those types of experiences would be covered and would be not coming out of their own pockets. So it's just wild to learn that through becoming a parent, and I'm still trying to understand it all day by day. So the third thing that I wish I would have known or wish somebody would have told me was, and this is unrealistic, but still, I wish I would have saved like 10 to 15 grand for the first 2 to 3 years just for child expenses. And that's to cover extra things outside of the baby shower, right? Like diapers, food, formula, things that break or needs to be repaired, buying extra things that you don't think you even realize you need until the baby's here. Like, there's so much that occurs after your baby's born, and you're just on autopilot trying to make sure that you can function, right? And that your baby's alive. But like, for example, around 10 to, I don't even remember, 10 to, no, maybe 18 months, our child figured out how to stand in their crib. So we had him in a mini crib, and he figured out how to stand and kind of put his leg over, and I freaked out. So we had to drop $400 on the spot to go buy a new crib. And yes, I know people are thinking that's what your emergency savings are for. That's what this or that is for. But come on, guys, like, it's still one of those things where I wish I would have just had that account specifically for those types of experiences. The other thing that's very similar to that, but focused on the moms, I wish I would have saved like 5 to 7 grand just for my health, because I didn't know that the women's health after you give birth doesn't really matter. Like, there's no support, but like pelvic floor. If I wanted to see a pelvic floor specialist, that comes out of my family's pocket. If I needed to go get a massage because I'm so exhausted from 24/7 childcare and home care and all of the just being alive care, that also comes out of my own pocket, my own family's pocket. And you have to like figure out where that's coming from, or you just don't go. You just don't go do those things. One thing that I started doing after I gave birth, because I had such weird pain in my mid to lower back, I totally assumed that was from the epidural, but I started seeing a chiropractor with my partner and it's gone away. Like, but that's not covered. My visits to the chiropractor, which has been over 10 visits now, those have not been covered by any sort of health insurance. It's just been out of my own pocket. And I feel like that's ridiculous, because it's because of carrying a child and delivering a child that I need this additional support for my body. So I wish I would have saved another 5 to 7 grand just so that I can make sure I take care of myself, because when I do take care of myself, I feel so much better, and it just trickles down to my partner, my son, and my dogs. But like, yeah, that's another one. So the next one, fourth trimester, was definitely the most challenging, because the baby's here now and you have to basically survive on little to no sleep. And then your body's also going through changes. It's healing. It's trying to get back to normal. It's producing milk. It's trying to stop bleeding. There's so much happening. And on top of that, you're trying to just take care of your normal life. It was wild. Fourth trimester is wild. Let's just say after the baby is born, life is wild. So don't forget about that. I know first, second, and third trimesters are important, but like, this is my opinion. First, second, and third trimester are like here. Fourth trimester is like here. I don't know if you can see it on screen, but like, that's what it was like from my experience. I don't know if it's like that for everybody else, but yeah, you tell me if I'm wrong. The other thing that happened for me, which I'm sure there's a word for it, could be postpartum anxiety, PP something else. I developed kind of strange fears. Like, I went rock climbing with a friend and I was so scared, and I had such like intense anxiety appear out of nowhere, which normally that doesn't happen. And then there's another time my husband and I were driving in the mountains after I had given birth, and my child was already, I believe, a little bit over 1 now. At that point, I was driving in the mountains and I started getting anxiety in the mountains, which I drive normally, or not normally, but frequently. And even my husband thought it was strange. I mean, he could sense that I was having anxiety, so he checked in on me, but like that was a new thing. For me, and maybe for some of you, I developed some anxiety / social fears. Like they popped up, and it could be like a protection thing because my body or my brain knows that I have a child, but that was definitely something that like I just didn't think would happen, and I didn't hear a lot of people talk about that. Now I understand why people choose to have children around family because it's really hard and we all need a break. We all need a break, and being around family or finding your community is extremely helpful. It's important. It's good for your child to be exposed to others that are part of their family. Another thing I learned the hard way is I need to carve out at least 2 to 3 days a month where I'm not around my child. That's been super hard because I have FOMO, but I have noticed when I do have time away from my child, I can think clearer. Like my brain is the before motherhood brain, right? Or like I just feel so much more renewed, refreshed. I just feel so much more present. I can interact without feeling irritated or annoyed. And I wish I would have known that a lot earlier on before approaching the 2 years and realizing, oh wow, this is actually beneficial. This is the last thing that I realized. It's probably not the last thing, but the last thing for this video. I wish I would have kept my car. We used to have 2 cars. So I had my car, my husband had his car. And for a while, my car was just sitting there. I wasn't driving it. And I think it was almost 2 years of my car pretty much just sitting around. So I sold it. And that was before any sort of planning for baby. But after a baby was born and we only have 1 car, it's been so challenging to try to get out of the house and trying to take my child to places, to do things, and myself included. But I've realized that when I do get out of the house with my child and have him exposed to the playgrounds or to the libraries or other kids his age, it makes the day go by so much better and it's so beneficial. But I wish I would have kept my car. So something that we did instead was I use my e-bike a lot. So I bike as much as I can with my child to and from a lot of these places that benefits both of us. So I get to be around other adults and kind of talk to them about what their experience has been like, while he kind of gets to get his energy out slowly and develop his social skills and just start to feel more comfortable in public. So that's been extremely beneficial. That's my list for this video of 9 things I wish I would have known or wish would have been shared with me about motherhood. Let me know which ones resonated with you and what I missed out on. I hope you guys all take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.